Good morning, grade 9 students. This is Miss Michelle Joy, and I am your social studies teacher. Welcome to our week 2 online learning discussion. Please do not forget to watch the entire video from the start until the end of the video, because at the end of it, I have given you an activity to answer. Please answer this given activity because it is the only way I can evaluate if you understood the topic or not. Good luck! So class, our subject is social studies, and our topics for week 2 is about grid and compass. These are the words that we will be encountering in our next slides. Please repeat after me so you can still practice your reading skills and your speaking skills even if you are just studying at home. Now let's start reading. Letter A, grid. Letter B, oblique view. Letter C, plan view. Letter D, straight line. Letter E, function. Letter F, features. Letter G, compass. Letter H, compass point. Letter I, direction. And letter J, compass needle. Now class, if there are words that you do not understand, please look at your dictionary, read them, write them in your notes for better understanding. Let's proceed to our discussion now. So let us read about grid. So grid makes it easy to find and describe the location of a place in a map. Straight or curved lines divide maps into smaller parts. Letters and numbers placed along sides of the grid give the grid reference for a place or feature. Maps showing large areas of the Earth often use curved lines of latitude, which run across a map parallel to the equator, and longitude, which run up and down a map from pole to pole as grid lines. Grid. In design, a grid is a structure usually two-dimensional made up of a series of intersecting straight, vertical, horizontal, and angular or curved guidelines used to structure content. Grid lines bring rhythm. Grid lines ensure balance. Grid lines reflect proportion. Grid lines offer consistency. So class, these are the following functions of a grid. So all of these 3 functions that I have written here can be found in your book. So you can highlight them in your book as we always do. So number 1 is use in locating features. The second one, use of a grid or function of a grid, is when looking at detailed maps and aerial photographs. And the last one is a particular area can be compared and carefully studied in terms of changes in natural system over time. So class, let us study about equator. So equator is at 0 degrees latitude. So all latitudes run parallel to the equator, either north or south. So equator is the imaginary line that we see in the middle of the Earth. So between the North Pole and the South Pole. So we can see here at the right side of our monitor, the arrow is pointing to the equator. So class, let us read some facts about longitude. So these are not in your book, so you might like to take down notes. So longitude are known as meridians, run in a north-south direction. Measure distance east or west of the prime meridian. Are furthest apart at the equator and meet at the poles. Cross the equator at right angles. Lie in planes that pass through the Earth's axis. Are equal in length. Are halves of great circles. So these are just some facts about lines of longitude. Now let's read about facts of latitudes. Next class, let us read about some facts about lines of latitude. So lines of latitudes are known as parallels, run in an east-west direction. Measure distance north or south from the equator, are parallel to one another and never meet. Cross the prime meridian at right angles. They lie in planes that cross the Earth's axis and right angles, and they get shorter toward the poles with only the equator, the longest, a great circle.
Hello friends, today we'll learn about the latitudes and longitudes of the Earth. Have you ever wondered how the location or position of any place is determined? Let me explain this. Whoa, it looks so yum! Our Earth looks like an orange. It is spherical from the sides and flat at the top and bottom. The latitudes and longitudes are invisible lines that help us identify a place using geometrical coordinates. An easy way to remember the orientation is that latitudes are lateral, and longitudes are long. Let's learn about them one by one. At first, latitudes. Latitude lines circle the globe in east-west direction. It measures how far north or south a specific point lies from the equator. They're also known as parallels. The equator at 0 degrees separates the Earth into northern and southern hemisphere. Locations to its north lies in between 0 degrees north to 90 degrees north, while to its south the positions are between 0 degrees south and 90 degrees south. The distance between each degree of latitude is approximately 69 miles. And now the longitudes. Longitudinal lines run from the North Pole to the South Pole. It measures how far east or west a point lies from the prime meridian. These are also known as prime meridians. Longitudes can vary from 0 degrees to 180 degrees east. The distance between longitudes at the equator is the same as latitude, roughly 69 miles. At 45 degrees south or north, the distance between is about 49 miles. The distance between longitudes reaches to 0 at the poles as the lines of meridian converge at that point. Now we'll see some of the notable latitudes and longitudes. The most important of these are the equator and the prime meridian. The equator is a line passing through the center of the Earth and is considered as the reference point for latitudes, whereas the prime meridian is a line passing through Greenwich, England, and is considered as the reference point for longitudes. It is also the source to calculate time and international dateline. Each degree refers to 4 minutes. There are 24 time zones in the world. If an event happens at 11 a.m. in Greenwich, England, it would be reported at 4:30 p.m. in Calcutta, India. The other important latitude is the Tropic of Cancer in the north and the Tropic of Capricorn in the south. Apart from these, the Arctic and Antarctic Circle at 66.5 degrees north and south respectively are equally necessary. These latitudes divide the Earth into the tropic zone. It's the hottest zone with countries like Colombia, Brazil, Kenya. Temperate zone, the moderate zone with countries like India, Japan, United States of America. And the polar zone, the coldest zone with countries like Norway, Iceland, and Finland. Penguins live in the polar zone's southern hemisphere. That's it for today, kids. Stay tuned for next video. Bye-bye.
So class, let us read about compass. So a compass helps the map reader find the direction of a place from another. The compass points give directions and work out the location of certain features. Using compass points is more accurate because the compass directions always remains the same. A compass has a magnetized needle that is mounted so that it can turn freely. The needle of a compass is a magnet. It points north because it is pulled by a larger magnet, which is the Earth. So class, these are the following compass points or the cardinal directions. We have north, east, south, and west. We also have here different kinds of directions. We have northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest. We also have west, northwest, north, northwest, northeast, east, northeast, east, southeast, south, southeast, south, southwest, and west, southwest. So class, we now come to the end of our discussion for this week, and I just want to give a summarization of all the topics that we have discussed. So number one, we have discussed about grid. We have discussed the importance of grid as well. Number two, we have studied about compass. We have studied about compass points, compass needles, and the four directions, the four cardinal directions, which are the north, south, east, and west. And we also studied the two imaginary lines in the map, which is the latitude and the longitude. So class, as I have told you at the beginning of this video, I told you to please watch the entire video because at the end of it, I'm going to give you an activity because it is the only way I can evaluate whether you understood our topic for this week or not. So answer the following questions. You can send your answers to me on our Google Classroom account privately like what you did last week. Do not type your answers in the comment section because I do not like other students to just copy your answers from the comment section. Okay? You have to do it on your own. Do not copy from your friend and do not let your friend copy your work. So the first question is, what is meant by the word grid? Number two, what is meant by the word equator? Number three, what are the two imaginary lines in a map? Number four, what is meant by the word latitude? Number five, what is meant by the word longitude? And the last question, what is meant by the word compass? Again, please do not type your answers in the comment section. Please attach your answers in the assignment because it is the only way I can check, I can mark, and I can return to you your work. Good luck! Thank you so much for staying with me for the entire video. Thank you for taking notes. Thank you for answering the given activity. Class, if you have any questions, suggestions, or comments about our online learning discussion, please feel free to send me a message on our Google Classroom account and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Please remember to stay safe, stay positive, take care of yourselves, and I see you the soonest. Goodbye, everyone!